and welcome to Razz Reviews. This video is part of my Oscar special where I'm going to be reviewing this year's best film nominees. And today I'm going to be reviewing Hacksaw Ridge. Hacksaw Ridge follows the fascinating real-life story of Desmond Doss, who was a World War II soldier while being a conscientious objector. Basically, it means that he was a pacifist who wouldn't kill and wouldn't even grab a gun, and he was a soldier in the war. It's a really fascinating real-life story, and it's retold by the one and only Mel Gibson. Welcome back, Mel Gibson! There hasn't been a single film by Mel Gibson that I've watched that I haven't loved. I love Braveheart, it's one of my favorite films growing up, so I was really looking forward to him coming back into the Hollywood scene and making a movie. And I can honestly say that I was not disappointed, because this film is very strong, very powerful, and very endearing. I really enjoyed the story, and I enjoyed the direction, and I enjoyed the performances. So let's kick it off by talking about the top 3 things that I liked about Hacksaw Ridge. Number 3, the true story aspect. The whole time you're watching this movie, you're constantly fascinated by the fact that these really unbelievable events actually happened in history. This man, played by Andrew Garfield, is somebody who was a pacifist, who was against violence in any way, shape or form, yet he joined the military because he thought it was the right thing to do. But he wanted to be a medic, so he refuses to carry a gun. And of course, you can't go through training, you can't go on the battlefield without carrying a gun or firing it. And yet he continued to refuse, but insisted on being in the army. And every time you watch it, you can't help feel overwhelmed by how insane this is. Apparently, there are a lot of real-life things and events and achievements that this guy did that Mel Gibson had to cut out of the film because he thought that it would feel unrealistic that one man cannot be this great. But apparently, he was. If it was a normal film and it wasn't based on a true story, you're gonna be like, nobody's gonna do that. No way this happened. It actually did, which is just mind-blowing. The number 2 thing I liked about this movie was the depiction of war. In my opinion, the best movie to ever depict war was Saving Private Ryan. Until I saw Hacksaw Ridge. Number 1, it's very realistic, it's beautifully shot, it's so violent, it's so stylistic, and of course, it's a Mel Gibson movie, so it is as you expect. It's pretty bloody, it's pretty gory, but at the same time, it felt so visceral and so real. You couldn't breathe during those scenes. It was so captivating, and it's the highlight of the film for me. I really enjoyed watching those war scenes. Another cool thing about the war scenes is that neither sides were portrayed as heroes. You didn't get all the evil Japanese and the good Americans. No, it actually showed that there are 2 sides to this battle and they were fighting, and it was just horrible for everyone. So I appreciated it from a storytelling point of view, but more so I appreciated it from a technical point of view. It's just shot, filmed, and edited. The sound editing is absolutely marvelous. You feel like you're there because of that sound editing. So now these war scenes are not only the highlight of the film, they're also some of the best war scenes I've ever seen. The number 1 thing I liked about this movie was Andrew Garfield's performance. So Andrew Garfield is nominated for Best Actor for this film, and I think it's truly deserved because he brought so much heart and so much charm to this character that he carried the entire film on his shoulders. It would have been easy for this character to not translate well on screen because he's kind of a goody two-shoes. He's an extreme person with extreme religious views, so he could have easily come off as preachy or annoying. However, Andrew Garfield just managed to make him so lovable and so likable that you can't help but like him and root for him. When I came out of this movie, I couldn't stop thinking about Desmond Doss as played by Andrew Garfield. Like, I just wanted to give him a hug. His performance was very powerful, and the character's conviction really came through, and you felt it and you respected it whether you agree with it or not, which is a monumentous achievement. So props to him. I really hope he wins. Of course, no movie is perfect, and now I'm going to talk about the top 3 things I didn't like about Hacksaw Ridge. Number 3, Hugo Weaving's accent. I personally have a thing with accents. Whenever an actor doesn't pull off an accent well, it gets on my nerve and takes me out of the film, even if the performance is really good. And that's what happened in this movie. Hugo Weaving gives a beautiful performance as Desmond Doss's father, who's a previous veteran who's against the war. And their conflict and their relationship is one of the highlights of the film, and I really enjoyed Hugo Weaving's performance. And this is one of the rare times where I see Hugo Weaving just as a human. He's always playing things like V and Agent Smith and Red Skull, and however here he played an actual person, and he was broken and he struggles with alcoholism, and I thought it was beautiful. However, his accent was a little weird and it kind of got on my nerve. I mean, it's not a big problem, but I just wish his accent was better and smoother. It bothered me personally. Number 2, the ending. No worries, spoiler free. I'm just gonna talk about my impression of the ending. The ending of this movie is not as strong as the rest of the film, especially the last act leading up to the final ending. Reason number one is I felt like the third act was a little rushed. This film was about 2 hours 15 minutes and I felt like Mel Gibson wanted it to be 3 hours, but then they cut it down because there's a lot of stuff that happens that's kind of montagey and quick and rushed and not as well established and well timed as things that happened previously in the film. The second reason is because I felt like the ending kind of tried to be extra emotional than it should have been. You know, when the music really builds up and it's like, it's an ending, it's beautiful. I don't like that. I like feeling things by myself. I don't like being forced to feel certain things by the editing and the manipulation of the filmmaker. And I didn't appreciate it because it didn't happen previously in the film. You were doing so great. Why did you go that way in the end? So I wish they didn't. The number one thing I didn't like about Hacksaw Ridge was the Jesus imagery. Sometimes I personally felt that the film had severely overt Christian imagery. And I don't like that because I don't like when the themes and the ideas are too on the nose and shoved in your face. Instead, I like it when these ideas are melded into the film and they feel like they come naturally and organically rather than placed there by the invisible hand of the filmmaker. Especially because this movie was already an extremely religious story and that was enough. It did not need all those blatant images. All in all, I really enjoyed this film and I thought it was very good. And I'm really happy to see Mel Gibson back at directing movies because I love his style of storytelling. I'm not sure whether this film is gonna win Best Film or not, and I'm not sure whether or not Mel Gibson will win Best Director, but I'm also glad he's nominated and I'm rooting for Andrew Garfield to win for Best Actor. So this film is quite simply a beautiful and fascinating story that is told very, very well. And for that reason, I'm gonna give Hacksaw Ridge an 8.5. So, have you seen Hacksaw Ridge? Did you like it? Do you have any Oscar predictions? Let me know in the comment section, and as always, like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to tell me what else you'd like me to review for you next. See ya!